I'm Tyler Matinani, glad you could join us. Some charter school heads are not in full support of a piece of legislation that would mandate all teachers employed at Guam charter schools to receive the same certification as Guam Department of Education instructors. KUAM's Isaiah Uggan has this report.
On behalf of the Guam Youth Congress, Senator Amanda Shelton proposed Bill 161-36, which would require all teachers employed at Guam charter schools to be certified by the Guam Commission on Educator Certification. The original charter school law allows them the freedom from the regulations that govern traditional public schools currently. That means in order for a charter school to open or a petition to be approved, they have to establish a program at the charter school that wasn't currently being done at a district public school at the time. It was originally authored by former Speaker Senator Judith Wanpat, who is presently the Chief Executive Officer of Guam Academy Charter School. She said that she intentionally wrote the law to not require certification because it's cost prohibitive.
And this kind of concerns me because even if it's going to be the certification officer or is it going to be the council who's going to be doing this, all they'll be looking for would be the paper qualification, but they would not be able to go out and observe a teacher in the classroom to determine if they're excellent teachers or an effective teacher.
Another concern she has is not having funds to pay certified teachers accordingly.
And right now, DOE teachers are getting anywhere between 30 to 40% higher. Their salaries are much higher than what we pay in the charter schools, they pay in the private schools.
Rachel Stake, the Chief Academic Officer of Island Academy Charter School, said that it's not necessary to mandate the certification that is being required by teachers in the district public school system. She said that it should still be left up to the administrators of the charter schools to determine what kind of training and certifications for their teachers teaching at the charter schools.
Especially if the program is effective, especially if we are producing the student learner outcomes that are expected of us. We are held accountable for what our charter school produces, right? And so if the trainings and the certifications that we're currently requiring for our teachers, such as Google Education, because we are a tech school, if they are able to obtain certifications in the areas that we're currently requiring for our program to be successful, then I think that that's great and that's where it should be. But I don't think that it should be a certification mandated to us to fulfill, especially if it's an unfunded mandate as it is.
Stake says the bill would affect their hiring authority.
I look at credentials, so I look at their degrees, I look at their experience, but I also look at them as a whole. Are you passionate about teaching? Are you passionate about your students? Are you flexible? Do you think this is a program that you would be able to be trained in and to be able to implement in an effective way?
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi, Isaiah Uggan.
She knew there was something wrong last year, and a recent audit released by Guam OPA backed up her suspicions.
Definitely brings flashbacks of that oversight hearing.
I certainly was not taking the full lead on that, that's for sure.
The governor was the procuring officer during the course of this particular event.
I'm prohibited by 5 GCA 5150 and Guam's Rules of Professional Conduct from talking about that.
Legal counsels were instructed to and quickly engage with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, GHRA, to seek hotel properties willing to serve as quarantine sites.
A 64-page audit released by the Guam Office of Public Accountability earlier in the week validates concerns first raised during a more than 4-hour oversight hearing led last year by Senator Sabina Perez into the emergency procurement of quarantine hotels and isolation facilities last March.
What this audit really does, it affirms what was said in the what was found in the oversight hearing, that procurement law was not followed.
According to the OPA, there were no signed contracts, the procurement record was incomplete, and the governor's legal counsel and son-in-law, Hai Hyun, had a conflict of interest with one of the hotels that was procured as a quarantine site. In total, the OPA found $3 million in questionable costs. But because the AG's office was providing advice on the procurement, can anyone be held accountable?
It would be difficult to have to investigate something which you were involved in, I think. So it maybe require a more of an independent review.
Attorney John Thomas Brown, who teaches the mandatory class on procurement for government employees and elected leaders, says the power lies with the people.
There's a fascinating law on Guam, has been on Guam for a long time, and it's called the Enforcement of Proper Government Spending.
The law is intended to hold government leaders accountable in how they spend the people's money, and makes note that generally laws related to improper spending of funds by the executive branch have not been enforced and in some instances openly ignored. The law also includes standing for any taxpayer to file suit.
So step right up, folks. Take a number. Everybody, choose one and sue away.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Serena Salas, Matanani.
Federal health officials today say the more transmissible Delta variant now accounts for 83% of current U.S. COVID cases. The White House is calling the decision to wear a mask while fully vaccinated a personal choice. But President Biden's latest suggestion that schools could see mask mandates is getting pushback. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
We are yet at another pivotal moment in this pandemic.
Members of the White House COVID response team sounding the alarm on the sharp uptick in COVID cases in the U.S.
The data is clear. The case increases are concentrated in communities with low vaccination rates.
More than 52,000 cases were reported in the U.S. Wednesday, with these 6 states among the hardest hit.
Thank you for coming out.
House Minority Whip Steve Scalise is from one of those states, Louisiana. He's now leading new calls from GOP lawmakers for Americans to get vaccinated.
This vaccine does, in fact, protect against symptomatic Delta variant.
The latest CDC numbers do show a slight rise in vaccination rates over the last week. President Biden received a closed-door briefing from his COVID response team Thursday. The White House says so far no decision has been made on changing masking guidance for fully vaccinated Americans.
We follow the science. All the major scientific operations in this country and the 25-person group we put together are looking at all the possibilities of what's happening now.
But in a CNN town hall, President Biden said it's possible mask mandates could return for children under 12 in schools, and that's already getting pushback.
We're not doing that in Florida, okay? We need our kids to breathe.
The White House COVID response team says for the past 2 weeks, 1 in 5 of all U.S. cases have occurred in Florida alone. Skylar Henry reporting for KUAM News.
And with regional headlines, here's KSPN2 News.
Half a day, Zantino, Guam. Here's what's making headlines in the CNMI. The Governor's Economic Council of Advisors held their monthly meeting this morning at the Queen's Club at Kensington Hotel. The main topic, sustainably developing the Marianas into a multi-island integrated destination. Darlena Jai presented a proposal on upgrading older and existing properties and turning them into branded iconic developments. Now, Jai has been involved in over 300 tourism and hospitality projects across Asia, and her experiences expand in the CNMI, Guam, Palau, and Fiji. Her point is to transform the Commonwealth into a high-quality destination that has a natural charm that is lost in many overdeveloped islands. The proposal includes packages that will bring tourists to Saipan, Tinian, Rota, and the Northern Islands. Jai specified that visiting the Northern Islands will take a lot of work. She detailed outdoor activities, accommodations, modes of transportation, and even dining. But because of limited infrastructure, liveaboards, which originated from the Maldives, are being considered.
So the idea is to host them on a mid-scale yacht in the 30-meter range. Typically, they have about 8 to 10 cabins, so about 20 guests staying on board, and they spend most of their nights on the boat. They're also traveling on the boat, have most of their meals on the boat. So there's common areas on the boat, both indoors and outdoors, and it needs to accommodate for staff quarters as well as all the equipment, food, and drinks for the entire trip.
The highlight will focus on the opportunity to explore the Northern Islands, which is visiting the Black Sand Beach, water activities, or hiking to completely untouched forests. The goal is to attract the top end of the market and real adventure guests. The council is seriously considering this proposal.
Definitely, we are promoting, when we were in Korea, we were promoting
the opportunity to go to Rhoda. There's an incentive to go to Rhoda, incentive to go to Tinian. And then, of course, we're moving forward on the Northern Island. I hope that by next year we'll have something more concrete for the Northern Islands. Transportation always a factor over there, but hopefully we can get our runway up and running, and then that'll open a lot of opportunities for the Northern Islands.
Everything is expected to fall into place, starting with the travel bubble.
We're going to be monitoring the numbers. I know that there's some legal stuff that we still need to work on. The hotel here, but overall we want to make sure that our travel bubble is successful, and we have the right partners, the COVID task force, the hospital, everybody's on board, making sure that we want our tourists to come safe, enjoy our islands, and then leave safe, as well as our people here.
For more news, please visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Sally Limas.
A change of command ceremony for the commanding officer of the U.S. Naval Base Guam was held on Monday at Commander Williams McCool Elementary and Middle School. After serving as the commanding officer of Naval Base Guam for 3 years, Captain Jeffrey Grimes was relieved by Captain Michael Luckett. In his remarks, Joint Region Marianas Rear Admiral Commander Benjamin Nicholson expressed his appreciation and recognized the accomplishments of Captain Grimes.
For the past 8 years, Captain Jeff Grimes has dedicated his service not only to the mission, the sailors, and their families, but also to the island of Guam and the region. He successfully completed 2 tours with Submarine Squadron 15 and served as Joint Region Marianas Chief of Staff before taking command of Naval Base Guam. When the coronavirus-19 pandemic hit, Jeff set the standard for leadership and action. He established Naval Base Guam Task Force for Life Theodore Roosevelt, which successfully returned 4,800 sailors to full mission capability. Jeff, you and your team rose to the challenge, came to solutions to the problems, and got the job done. And I speak for all of us here, for all those who work, and thank you very much for a job well done, kiddies.
Captain Luckett recently served as the commanding officer of the USS Emery Land from September 2018 to May of 2021. Under his leadership, the ship completed more than 10 months of deployed operations across the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Theater, according to a press release. The Guam Veterans Affairs Office is looking for 10 interested island residents to become VA-accredited representatives. According to a press release, the Lieutenant Governor's office was awarded $40,000 by the Interior Department to fund training. This would increase the total number of accredited representatives from 5 to 15 to assist the estimated 22,000 veterans in Guam. Interested applicants must be 18 years or older, have a high school diploma, be a resident of Guam, working with local veteran service organizations, and have a minimum of 2 years of clerical experience or ability to work with computers and online systems. Resumes can be sent to guamvsotrainee@gmail.com no later than August 30th. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we have our Culture Club segment, and still to come, our Sports Roundup with Dave Delgado.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. and to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
Welcome back. We are thrilled to bring back the Culture Club, and tonight we introduce you to Master Carver Jill Beneventi, also known as Mama Jill.
Culture Club, brought to you by Hunnam.
Half a day, my name is Jill Beneventi. I've been carving / playing with this craft since 1991. In 1991, I was part of the group Nation Chamorro, and whenever we did protests, we found like artifacts and everything that our ancestors have created. So watching the boys playing with a drum roll, I said I'd like to get my hands on that. So since then I've been practicing, kind of looking on to the other carvers and taking hints and just playing and practicing on my own. A lot of times when I create a piece, the boys would kind of look at it and go, so did you know that this is an artifact actually? And I said, no, I did not. I don't really. I just go from what I feel, and that's how I started. Just play, get the feel of the materials, and practice. I do stones, I do horn, I do bone, giant clam, shells, all kinds of shells. I'm not picky. Whatever comes my way, I just create with it. Meeting a lot of young ones and showing them and teaching them how to go about in doing their carvings. There's many now, and with Festival of the Pacific, it just brought a lot of the younger ones out, so it's nice to see that it's continuing. Well, actually, I have a lot of young artisans who are interested. I've been apprenticing since 1998 at my original shop, and I've been apprenticing since then. Most of it is labor of love and just showing them the way to create. I created Guinahan Chamorro in 1998 because I would meet a lot of people visiting, and they always ask, what do we create? I said, well, you know, we have a lot of talented people here. The struggle initially was to try to get our people to have their items sold. Because most of the times people create something, family comes in the next moment, and oh, that's really nice, so of course we're just going to give it away. But there are those that are actually looking for craft works, weavings, whatnot from our people to take away, saying that this is from Guam. I'm proof actually that if you want to do something, as long as you create from your heart and soul, you can't go wrong. Continue playing, continue practicing, and it'll be awesome, coming from the heart. Half a day, my name is Jill Beneventi. I am a member of the KUAM Culture Club.
You can see this and future Culture Club segments on KUAM digital platforms. Up next, we have sports with Dave Delgado. Keep it here.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus, we have the perfect Jeep for your summer adventures. Whether you're going off-road or just getting ready to hit the beach down south, make this the summer event you find your Jeep, like the 2021 Jeep Wrangler or the 2021 Jeep Gladiator, equipped with Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to schedule a test drive today. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
Former Team Guam Olympic weightlifter Julius Naranjo is in Tokyo coaching Philippines athlete Heidelin Diaz. Naranjo relocated to the PI in 2018 and started remote weightlifting with athletes.
We basically more so traveled abroad and we worked with other athletes from different countries. It was really interesting because I got to work with one of the best athletes from the Philippines, and then I get to work with some of the best athletes from other countries, and it just broadened my perspective of how I should adjust, how I should work with programming, how I should understand how elite weightlifters are in this setting.
Julius says it's been challenging at times, but worth the work he's been putting in with the athletes. With the Olympic Games pushed back a year, the preparation was 5 years in the making.
It was quite challenging, but I think the challenge was so that it gave us more time to be the best shape and to kind of go through some of these struggles so that when we compete in the Olympics, it will be more meaningful because of the challenges and everything we have to overcome to get here.
Heidelin Diaz is an Olympic veteran who has competed in the Beijing Games in 2008, London Games in 2012, and was a silver medalist in the Rio Games in 2016. Diaz was also the first female Olympian from the Philippines to medal in the Olympic Games.
Just being here in itself is so amazing. It reminds me of the time I traveled representing Guam back in 2017 in the Asian Indoor Martial Arts Games. People always said that this setting, the setting back then in IMAG, was similar to what an Olympics would be. And I'm starting to see it. Of course, it's different because everyone's wearing masks. We test every day and just following all the precautions because of the general population of Japan not being very keen on having the Olympics.
The goal for Tokyo is to win the Philippines' first gold medal. Regardless of the outcome, stepping onto the podium is something very attainable, says Naranjo. Heidelin is ranked number 2 in the world, right behind China's top lifter.
Even if there's no spectators, the amount of pressure the Olympics brings is something that you don't usually experience. And so, like, first-time Olympians usually get very nervous, but Heidelin's a veteran, so she has all the experience. So I think for where we are right now in terms of preparation, I think we have a very good chance. And yes, our goals are very much attainable.
How did that feel, just seeing the Guam flag there, being at the Olympic Games, being a coach for the Philippines, but still having that Guam tie?
It was always a dream of mine to qualify for the Olympics for Guam, but things happen. And here I am now. So it's this journey was really tough, and just to be able to step on in Tokyo and to see my flag there, I had to stop and to take that moment to really soak it in, because yes, I'm coaching for the Philippines, but I am Guamanian. I'm from Guam, born and raised, and I always represent my country, and I never forget your roots, right? So I am Filipino blood, so of course this I'm doing this for my father's side, and just trying to represent who I am, where I'm from. I want to do big things for my country and for my island.
The Docomo Pacific Soccer Moms League is back at the GFA National Training Center. After being away from the game for over a year, the players are happy to be back on the pitch. Games are held every Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m.
So after being off the pitch for over a year, the ladies were excited to come out again. They've missed being able to get exercise, to have fun. I think we're excited that we were able to kick off the beginning of soccer. We've been a team, and we always like to accept new members, so we have a mix of old and new all coming together, working together to get out here, have some fun, have some exercise, and to remind our kids that we're out here to have fun.
There are 16 teams competing in the Docomo Pacific Soccer Moms League and the GFA's Women's Recreational League. The creation of the league is a success story for the women's program, providing opportunities for women and girls to reap the benefits of playing the sport.
The experience is great. I mean, being able to come out here and play with a team, learning more about the sport. I do look forward to continue on with this soccer league, Moms League. The camaraderie I love. We all work together. We all communicate so well on or off the field. It's a great experience.
Games for this Sunday, July 25th. Islander Moms take on Femme Fatale at 6 p.m. Then at 7, Laddie Strong will be taking on Docomo Moms. And in the last game of the evening at 8 p.m., Queen Cobras take on the Dedido Disasters. After playing 3 scrimmages in 5 days, players called up to the Masakata Talent Identification Camp in San Diego are now anxiously waiting for the preliminary award night. Moving into the final weeks before the AFC Women's Asian Cup qualifiers in September, head coach Sang-Hoon Kim and assistant coach Rhoda Bamba are currently in discussion about the selection of players for the AFC tournament, and a roster will be released in a few weeks. Selection will be from all players eligible to play for Guam in order to assemble the strongest team possible when the Masakata return to the AFC competition for the first time since 2003. Guam was drawn into Group D of the AFC Women's Asian Cup qualifiers with Myanmar, Lebanon, and United Arab Emirates. The Lebanon Football Association announced Monday that Lebanon will be the host of Group D. Kim said due to COVID-19, it's been difficult to evaluate potential players since they have not been able to play any matches. With this camp, I met some players in person for the first time and saw firsthand all the players' performance and game knowledge in match situations, and also in which positions the players would possibly best contribute to the team.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Welcome back. This week on My Liberation Heroes, we feature a submission from Dr. Mark Okada regarding her friend Eloy Hera.
My Liberation Hero, brought to you by Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Audit Dental Clinic, and Vince Jewelers. Dr. Mary Okada writes, Mr. Eloy Hara is my liberation hero. Mr. Hara was only 3 years old when the Japanese bombing of Guam started. While his recollections before that fateful day are few, he says he vividly remembers that day and his experiences during the war. When he was old enough, Eloy served his country in the United States Navy. After 25 years of serving his country honorably and with distinction, he retired from the Navy and returned home to Guam, where he has continued to serve the island in various capacities. Like many from that greatest generation, Eloy has lived a life of commitment to his country and island. He has demonstrated a tireless work ethic to do good for our community. Mr. Hara is a great example for all of us to follow. He is my liberation hero. My Liberation Hero, brought to you by Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Audit Dental Clinic, and Vince Jewelers.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
We've got a single birthday celebrant this weekend who has the spotlight all to herself, so happy birthday on Sunday, July 25th to Aurora Borja. Happiest to you and many, many, many more, 3 times, many, many, many more to come, says your adoring family. And Aurora, each and every one of them is proud of you. And we as your fellow Guamanians hope you have a fantastic island weekend and a happy birthday.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend, Guam.